Yo, almost fix my hair here. What's up? Man, it's chilly outside. Mm. Y'all like those yogurt colored or vanilla yogurt covered raisins? The great value kind. That could be good. Y'all come on in here. Mm. I know it's been a minute, but it's cold outside. Mm. I kind of shut inside, so we all on the inside. Hopefully y'all enjoying family. I made my first crock pot crock pot of chili. It turned out great, even better than I expected. Mm. Mm. I'll be munching on that the next couple of days. I may try to cook something else. But anyway, what's up, YouTube channel? It's your man Rico their penis. I know I'm absent. My lock here, my brain's still pop. I know I'm always just. Well, what am I trying to say? I'm not on this channel enough. I should be a week or two. I will be on this channel on a more permanent basis. Giving up my YouTube channel for now. Um, yeah, I'm gonna let it go. I've had that channel for like 10 years or something like that. It's kind of worn out. So I'm gonna come back later with a new YouTube channel, and we'll start over, finish where we left off, if you will. But I want to welcome y'all in. Come on in. It's a lot of stuff on my mind. I know the title is talking about ICE and Black Americans, um, but there's also other topics that I would like to engage you in tonight. If y'all ain't got to go to work in the morning, come on, let's talk about it. I wish I had a way in which y'all can, talk to me, but I'll read. Like, I wish y'all could call in. That's the goal. I want to turn it into a actual radio podcast or program where you can call in and talk to me, or call in and share your thoughts with other listeners. But in the meantime, I will definitely read your chats. Um, and invite you to go over to look in the description box. My Cash App is there, $ Rico Rivers MSW. Feel free to hit that at any time if you're enjoying the conversation. And please keep your questions and comments. But I want to talk about. I'm gonna kick it off by talking about this ICE thing, right? And it's so, I don't know why it's so clear to me. And y'all know and continue to like, share, and subscribe. Y'all come on over and subscribe. And push the like button, please. Push the like button so he can get through the algorithm. So we can just let everybody know that Rico is here tonight talking about these topics that I've mentioned them on my Facebook page, but I'd rather talk to you on this page. On this channel. Look, I've been seeing the weirdest things, and as it relates to this ICE situation. I'm going to speak slowly because I know a lot of us are up on it. That's why a lot of people in leadership are trying to, talk to us as if we don't know what's going on in this country. And it's not a Trump thing per se, but Trump's presidency has kicked off a lot of stuff. And I've been sitting back and paying attention. But unfortunately, a lot of us are not paying attention to all the stuff that's being revealed because he's the president. You never thought that we live to a point where in the country that people hate the president so much that other stuff starts getting revealed. What do you mean, Rico? And I'm talking to the black community. Contrary to popular belief, I don't know if there's been another belief, but my YouTube channel, it's a black channel. Black people. I'm talking to us because I want to hear us talk to each other. And I want us to continue to do better in this country. Because we've gotten sidetracked. No, we got sidetracked by intersectionality. We got sidetracked by multiculturalism. We got sidetracked by DEI. We got sidetracked by multiculturalism and all this stuff and diversity. We got sidetracked by LGBT and trans. We got sidetracked by a lot of things that really don't have a damn thing to do with us. And with Trump being the president, I would think that we become focused on us. But no, because the leadership that's been let's say the political tour guides of the black community in America, well, they're stirring the pot. I mean, they're stirring up the nonsense. And from what I've recognized since he's been the president, I recognized it from 16 to 2020, and it's become even more evident and in 24 to now and certainly beyond. Yes, I'm talking about that lame ass Democratic Party and these people who are supposed to be leaders in the Democratic Party and people who are in other aspects of leadership in the black community, they all seem to be Democrats. Isn't that something? None of them are independents that speak the truth about what's really going on. I got grown black men. I have grown black women talking about some fucking ice. What does that have to do with us? And then the repeating CNN and Democratic National Convention talking points that has nothing to do with foundational black Americans. They actually sit around and they loud these Democratic politicians who all they want is the votes. They don't give a damn about the conditions of black folks. You don't believe me? Go to the inner city. These heavily Democratic black neighbors, go look around. They've been talking all this racism. Racism, this, oh, he's a white supremacist. While most of your Democratic politicians either in gay relationships or they're in interracial relationships. There's nothing Malcolm X about these people. Nothing. And so here we are. They got trying to really goat us, and thank God that a lot of us have caught on after 60 years. We finally caught on that all these people want us for is for votes. I jumped off the plantation in 2012 and have not looked back. And so with this ICE situation, a lot of things are being revealed about the Democratic Party, how desperately they want to win. They want to get back in power with the House seats and Senate seats and local stuff. They will do anything, including pay people to sacrifice themselves, in quotes, in my opinion, I think I snapped, to die or set up a murder, a quirter or whatever. Because someone brought it out and it made sense. It's like, damn, every time there's an election coming up, there's a death. You know, with the George Floyd thing, oh, they really pushed it. Even the Freddie Grays, they you know, it goes by, I mean, just naming people. The Democratic Party's jump right on it. Yeah, the big killing. We got to save ourselves. We're going to die here. While they live in suburban white neighborhoods in $1 million homes. Like your Democratic leadership. It's about money. In case y'all didn't understand, we live in a capitalistic society. It's all about their bread. And for far too long, black Americans have been the cash cow of everybody, be it immigrants, as well as the political party that we've always been so loyal to since 1964. Democratic Party. They push everybody else's issues except for what we actually want, what we need. Reparations. You know, better schools. They don't push nuclear family. They push mommy, daddy stuff. If y'all weren't so busy trying to find out who's black and who voted for Trump, or who's black, who's conservative, you should pay attention to the fox that's in your hen house. So this ICE situation, I'm telling you how sick it is. Again, I see grown black men and women on social media trying to correlate their nonsense to our experience. Two things that's recently happened that got on my damn nerves. Ryan Coogler, who movie went to support, we are supporting him to win these awards in the award season. Ryan Coogler, loved the brother, but they just always let us down. Ryan Coogler, I hope somebody show this to Ryan Coogler. Look, bro, Who the fuck told you to compare? Who told you to compare Oscar Grant's murder by those cops to Renee Good? A white woman with a husband, with a wife. A white woman with a wife who got, and we found out, y'all been watching the news, who, a lesbian white woman with a wife, and they all part of this little Democratic soldier creating weirdo little group where they all go out to protest. And we see all those people, like thousands of people who don't even live in your city, out protesting in the street. They're paid protesters. And even in my hometown of Memphis, all the white folks, where do white folks come from? Not hardly any black folks protesting in Memphis. And if they are, they're paid off to do that. They'll do anything to get money. It's capitalism. And so this white woman, and if you saw the whole video, her husband or her wife was taunting. Yeah, said, yeah, chubby, fatso. Yeah, we're coming for you, baby. Yeah, yeah. Then told Renee, hey, turn. Went in. And so she got that work. She said FAFO. And they're trying to make it an issue, but due to the fact that black people's not a part of it, it's not going anywhere. Because we already know what time it is. We're not stupid anymore, Democratic Party. Liberal whites, liberal white Jews. We're not. We're not dumb anymore. So that's what's going on. They try to make it a human thing. Now let's deal with 400 years of inhumane treatment of black people, foundational black Americans. If we're not going to deal with that, don't try to throw other stuff in the mix. Because everybody always want to use us for their gains, and we don't benefit from it. Those days are over. Now, we got some stubborn Negroes and Negresses. They're going to hold on to that Democratic thing because something they benefit from it. They're either single mothers, or they're, in close years, they're members of black Greek-led organizations, or they're homosexuals. Or they're married interracially. They're kind of... See, that's the Democratic Party. Now, foundational black Americans who believe what Malcolm was talking about, who understand what Marcus Garvey was talking about, who understood what Ida B. Wells was talking about, who understands what Dr. Claude Anderson is talking about, we ain't buying that nonsense, and they can't stand blacks like us. Those bourgeois, uppity blacks, those blacks, they don't like us. They didn't like Malcolm. And they hated Dr. King the last 3 years of his life when he started talking about reparations. Because those groups of black, the bourgeois, buffer class blacks, they want the jobs and the access to interracial and homosexual sex. Rest in peace, Brother Steve Coakley. Tried to tell us while he was alive. And so they want us to really fall in line with this whole ICE thing. It's crazy. That has absolutely nothing to do with foundational black Americans. We are not immigrants. We're the foundation in this mother lover. And my thing is, we need to start acting like it. We need to start acting like it. I don't know what you're reading or not reading, but whatever's going on is not helping our cause to move forward. Dr. Claude Anderson told us in 2015-16, probably before that we are going to become the number 3 and 4 minority group in this country. If they didn't do shit for us when we was number 1, what makes you think they're going to care about when we're number 3? The man, he has books and videos to talk about, but we don't. And so that's what I do. I sit back and I just listen and I observe. There's something wrong with black Americans. Not the masses of us, but that buffer class of blacks. When people say it's going to be a civil war, no, yeah, it's going to be a civil war between blacks and the bourgeois boule Greeks and the homosexuals. That's the civil war that's going to happen between us. Because they benefited off of the top part of the whole democratic nonsense, while the masses of blacks continue to suffer in the ghettos, in impoverished situations, and impoverished schools, and gangs, and drugs, while they get to live in white suburbs and gated communities with white folks. Then they come out of their bat caves and start yelling, racism, misogyny, racism, sexism, patriarchy. Y'all see how the game is played? And the mass of us have had enough. And that's why I wanted, it's a blessing and a curse, this whole social media thing. I'm so glad that the internet was created in the sense that black folks get to have a voice where we didn't have one at first. Because back in the day, before the internet, all we could rely on was local ABC, NBC, CBS. What's that? ABC, NBC, CBS News. Then Fox came. But still, those three networks controlled the narrative. But when internet came, see, other blacks and intellectuals got a chance to get on and rebut, and just like boom, knock down all the false narratives that were spread around about black people. Number two, black men, and they hate it. Can't do anything about it. The traditional news is just traditional news. Anybody still watching the 5 o'clock news is you want to be out of touch. The real news is on social media. The real footage of what happens and what actually happened is on social media. So all you little brilliant, intelligent people, I ain't on no social media. I ain't paying attention. Well, you better. As long as you keep watching your local Channel 5, your local news at 10, you're going to always be a month behind on what really happened in this country. Or what happened in your own neighborhood. Because when cell phones came out and people right there on it, see, the news, guess what, y'all? The news gets news from folks who have cell phones now. Y'all know that, didn't you? Just look at it on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. In the news, they'll say credit goes to, they'll name the person who they got the cell phone footage from. Those days are over. So, hey, it is what it is now, and I'm glad of that, because now black folks, we can express our concern or discontent about something that's said about us, or somebody trying to speak for us, and we didn't even ask you to speak for us, Jasmine Crockett. And Ryan Coogler. Why did you do that? All right, you really want an Oscar that bad that you'll go out like that, bro? Why? That has absolutely nothing to do with Renee Good. Renee Good was following other orders. Oscar Graham was just a young black man trying to get to the house. Then you have Angel Reese now. A country that called people that called all kinds of names. Pray for our country. Angel Reese, another one, trying to get in good with the dominant society. But y'all gonna still be trying to high five and try to support her. And she long time, she already let it known that she doesn't care for black men. So too many black men, if y'all run to her support even now, just let her do her thing. She doesn't really want to play basketball. She wants to show her booty cheeks and be a model. And let her. She's pretty enough. She's tall enough, long legs. Let her be a model. I just wish she didn't talk. Well, that's a lot of thing about our entertainers, athletes and entertainers. I wish they didn't talk. Just sing. Just act. Just run. Just jump. Just dunk a basketball. Just hush. Because I've learned that all black athletes, except for 6 of them, I can't say all, but the mass majority of our black entertainers, mass majority of our black athletes, mass majority of our black actors and actresses, they're Democrats. The very party that continues to shove a boot up the black community's ass. Hollywood is a Democratic entity. Homosexuals, Jews, all the alternative folks. That's what it is. And nothing against any of these people. I know when I mention me, I think, Rico hate Jews. Rico hate gays. And that's not it at all. Me mentioning them doesn't mean I have a problem. I'm letting y'all know what's going on. Stuff that y'all should already know. I'm actually repeating what y'all know. But y'all won't say it out loud because, everybody trying to keep what they got. Like the rest of us, like Malcolm who want to keep his life or keep his family. Like Dr. King who want to keep his life or keep his family. That's a whole nother thing. And so, trying to pull us in ice. And then they're like, well, they're going to start pulling black people over too. What, not black Americans? Y'all thought black was just American? Black is global. But we've done this wonderful thing called delineate. Like other people have done all the time. And maybe I need to Google what delineate means, or delineation, what that means. Recognizing your group. Yeah, I ain't never heard of people when they say Puerto Rico, living in New York, living in Texas, Mexico, La Raza. That's called delineating. Black people, we didn't do that at first. We always talking about some Pan-Africanists, and then you got the Haitians. Yeah, Haiti, and Jamaica. You know, they all doing that stuff. That's why I said, ice and milk, okay? Of course. It's weird, but go ahead. Yeah. So, so it's it's the weirdest thing. But everyone delineates except for Black Americans. Luckily, in these last few years, we finally got together. First, it started with ADOS, but then something that's more specific to us as foundational Black Americans. FBA is a little better than ADOS, American Descendants of Slaves. But ADOS it has its place, but I've been leaning more towards FBA or foundational Black Americans, meaning we were here. Our grandparents, our parents before they were born here. And we're the ones who set up the structure. We're the bridge that holds this thing together. Let's see. And so when everyone else has done it, everyone else does it. They've always done it. You hear people Puerto Rico, then Jamaica, and Haiti, and Cuba, I'm Cuba, and then the folks in Minnesota. Now them protests. You see them Negroes in there and up there in Minnesota protesting. They were paid, right? And if any of them come from out of town, they were paid. Nobody. Let me tell you something. How many times, y'all? How many of you have ever stuck your head in a freezer and just left it there? That's what it's like taking your ass up to Minnesota in January, talking about some damn protesting. They literally live in a deep freezer. Woo! Who would do that? Unless you're being paid. And so I saw this Negro male trying to attack ICE, and they emptied a whole can of mace in his face. And I'm like, good for you. Take your ass home, brother. It has nothing to do with you. And so and people are like, well, wow, Somalians, aren't they Black? Well, have y'all been on social media, on what's that, TikTok, on Instagram? I'm not Black. I'm not I'm not Black American. I'm Somalian. They've always distinguished themselves away from Black Americans. When Nigerians levy their criticism, they say, you Black Americans. So that's why we're called foundational Black Americans. So when these white folks start getting on y'all ass, which they have, shout out to the deportation and immigration laws, now all of a sudden, we're the Black Americans. Well, we are. Just like where y'all always are when something was going on with us, these other groups, they just sat by the sideline and ate their popcorn. And so now it's our turn. Now it's a problem. See, it was fine when you do it, but it's a problem when I'm doing it. Shout out to, I guess, Finesse 2 Times. Is he the one who did that song? I think that was him. Let me know who did that. So I want to give credit to the proper credit. You don't have to be Black and paid to protest. Okay, never said you had to be, but I'm telling you what is an actual fact. A lot of these Negroes out here standing up for shit that ain't got nothing to do with them. But it can't get none of them. But why y'all get paid to get like that No Kings protest? Well, nobody Black out there. That's why one shit. If there are no Black people in the protest, I mean the masses of us, it ain't talking about nothing. Like I listen to what everyone else is saying. I hear varying perspectives. A lot of them make sense. Like I say, hey, don't nobody care about what y'all doing. Comfortable people, all the comfortable people got a problem now. I just heard something Dick Gregory said. He said about 30 years ago, Dick Gregory, y'all know Google Dick Gregory. He said, yeah, it's going to be a problem because white folks will get in the streets and start acting a fool. Because they're not used to not having the best jobs. They're not used to not having things. So they're going to start showing out in this country. Because as Black people, we're used to not having, and we're so used to not having that we've made something out of nothing. We've done it and continue to do it. We got these other folks like, wait a minute. The Constitution was made for me. How am I not making it? So yeah, they don't like any level of discomfort. So, but that's how it works, and it's okay. Thing is, I just need Black Americans to get on board. We've had too many of our scholars to die or to be unalive trying to teach us how to behave appropriately in this country. Dr. Claude Anderson is 90, close to 90 years old if he isn't already. Probably 80, I mean, what is he? Probably 87 or 88 now. Old man now. He spent his whole life trying to teach black Americans how to behave appropriately. He has a video on YouTube called Inappropriate Behavior. And he has another one that's called Exceptional People, where that's aimed at the politicians in the black neighborhoods. They've really shown their asses. Since the 24 election, man, these black politicians, these Democratic politicians, instead of them just becoming better in their districts with their black constituency, they decide to organize and fund chaos in the country. Did y'all hear what I just said? They attempted to do it in 2016 to 20, but then they felt better when Biden was fucking up the country. But then when Trump won again, they're like, oh no, and won in such a major fashion. Man, swept the country, had the country bloody red across the map. That upset them. They just couldn't believe it. They're like, wait a minute, we push trans, we do LGBT stuff, we get these immigrants all this money and all this, we still lost? That's the problem. They don't do anything for the constituency, the black constituency. And then we have to take some responsibility for that. We never ask a black politician or a white liberal politician for any money. We're always happy that the black and the liberal politician, and happy when they come to our cookout, or they throw a party at the White House where only a few bourgeois elite blacks get to go. They call that DEI. It's amazing. That's all they cared about. That's why they're so in love with Obama. With a whole white mama, they called him black. The Democrats will never give you a black candidate. If you're thinking a black president is going to come from a Democrat, from the Democratic Party, you're stupid. They have never had a record in which they pushed a black candidate. Now, some of y'all go find Shirley Chisholm or somewhere, but she was an immigrant, so she don't count. Shout out to Haiti. But she wasn't foundational black American. She was an immigrant. So they don't. The only time, this is how much they don't respect the black community. Every time there is even a hint of a demand for a black candidate, they push out a mulatto. Cory Booker, Kamala Harris. They never give us an Omarosa. They never give us a black man that looks like Don Cheadle. They always give us a racially ambiguous, because the Democratic Party, y'all keep saying it's a different party from the 1800s. It's the same racist dogs that hated black folks then. They do the same thing now. Only thing is, they say, look, we're going to be the fox, but we're actually a wolf just like the Republican Party. We're going to present ourselves as the fox, but we're the same wolf, just like the Republican Party. That's what they do. And then Negroes come protective of these black and these white liberal politicians. That's why the ghetto's still fucked up. And then you got these little Negro politicians coming back to report, oh, they voted, they passed a vote in this majority Republican House. They passed a resolution to have a Charlie Kirk Day. And listen, y'all, I voted against it. Okay, you outnumbered anyway. But did you go in there and try to push some money? No. Because if you pay attention to your black politicians, while y'all got us focusing on Trump and MAGA, you need to pay attention to the black and liberal, the black politicians, and pay attention to them. Because whenever you ask them about some money, they talk to you like you're a 5-year-old. But you know who they don't disrespect when they're in front of? Asians, Hispanics, Jews, and homosexuals, and white women. They don't talk. They talk about money. There's video after video on YouTube that you can find. Find Kamala Harris, find Jasmine Crockett, find whoever your favorite white or black liberal politician is. Go and see how they speak calmly, respectfully, without the theatrics to those other groups. They keep it on money, what laws they can pass to protect them as a group. We can't even get an anti-black hate crime bill out of your favorite Negro politician. Please spare me. Well, Republicans run the House. For 12 years, the Democrats had the House and the goddamn Senate. So we're not going to play that game. So y'all, it's clear now that ICE stuff has nothing to do with foundational black Americans. We are not immigrants. Now, if you're a black dude hanging out with a legal Mexican, well, they're going to search your ass too. They're going to detain you. See, they play games with the language. That's why I'm here. Let me tell y'all something. I saw an article today that was on Facebook. It came from my home state of Tennessee. The state house there, they're creating a bill where only Americans born in America can hold state office. And then they threw in, so the title of it was, they're trying to discriminate against naturalized Americans. Pay attention. And so you got these people on here saying, see, black people, we need to be careful and all this. Hold on a minute. Because obviously you don't know what FBA is. You don't respect our lineage here in this country as a black person. Those who push us over into everyone else's fight. All right. Then you have, and so I had to go and explain to this person and these people. I read the entire article, and just like I thought, see, Ilhan Omar is the one who's got these folks on the immigrants' ass the most. You can find videos of her, even though she's in the House, and just like AOC. How these foreigners get to hold seats of Congress and get to run for office in this country? But you can't go and run for nothing in Mexico or Venezuela or El Salvador or anywhere else. But all of a sudden they come over here and get in and they can hold seats of power in this country and still have an allegiance to their own country. That's what they're talking about. How are they able to do that? People are helping them. Just like some white folks helped them. Tim Walz helped them in Minnesota to get those $8 to $12 billion in free money. They're helped. But those same liberal white folks do not help black Americans who've helped them get in office and in power. Keep following me, y'all. They'll help the immigrants. Brandon Johnson in Chicago, $1 billion of Chicago money went towards migrants and ignored the black folks in that neighborhood all the time. And black Chicago, where y'all live? How come y'all not helping flip Chicago red to get this food out of there? It's like it's a problem when black people demand things, when we demand things for ourselves. Everybody else can do it. But when black people, it's like there's a mandate. Benign neglect. Shout out to Dr. Claude Anderson. You don't ever say nothing to or for on behalf of black people. They don't deserve shit because they're the original prisoners that we're going to keep in a prison state in this country. Yeah, we'll let them get degrees and dress nice and all that, but they can't make any economic or political demands. Ones that will actually protect them. I'm going to get to the civil rights shit in a minute. And so, you got, like I said, they helped them over there. And you got what's not going with that? Damn, made me lose my point talking about that damn Tim Walz helping the immigrants there. That's what they do. They help them. And so yeah, I was talking about the article in Tennessee. And so they act like, see, if you're not paying attention, they play word games. Naturalized. And so I had to explain to him after I read the full article there in Tennessee. Yeah, the Republican, the white boys are having a blast with this thing. They're saying, yeah. We mean those of you. Yeah, you were born here. Your parents may be from another country. No, another country like Omar Ilhan. But your parents may have become citizens here, by way of whatever, but still, when they're born to them, you can't hold office either. Because if you have dual citizenship, that means there's some kind of loyalty or disloyalty from this country to your home country. And you don't have to even been there. Because if your mother's from Venezuela, your father's from Mexico and all that, guess what? All they know is their home country. And so you're born, guess what? You take on what your parents are. Yeah, I was born an American, my nationality is American, but my ethnicity and whatever is my home country. And that's what they're talking about. Now, here's the issue with that. Okay, so white state legislators in the state of Tennessee, if y'all gonna have this about, this, you can't have duality in this country and try to hold office here. You can't have dual citizenship in another country while trying to hold federal or no, in the state of Tennessee, a state office, state rep or what have you, state senator, state rep or what have you. I hope this rule applies to the white folks here who have dual citizenship. You Jewish and white in America, but you also have a dual citizenship in Israel. I hope that applies to them. Now, if they're not so racist that they can apply it across the board, then I think it's cool because it goes under the America First plan. Regardless of what you think about the president, Black Americans, foundation of Black Americans, we're Americans. We have every right to demand all of the rights that white people have gotten, as well as illegal immigrants. Because when immigrants come over, they get white people rights. We still getting the 3/5 of human rights. It's amazing, but we're not paying attention to the language. They're arresting Americans. See that. If you have your paperwork in order, show the folks. Then you got these folks like, again, Ryan Coogler comparing Renee Good, who went and fucked around and found out with them folks, to Oscar Grant. Then you have Jasmine Crockett. Y'all know, eyelashes, hair weave, loudmouth, cosplaying Keisha Hood chick, kind of. She compared what's going on with them going out and getting warrants to find the illegal immigrants as well as the criminals. For me, it's both. Because they like saying, well, they said they were hunting down dangerous and law-breaking immigrants or illegals. No, breaking into a country or entering a country without permission is criminal. I've never heard such a thing. Jasmine Crockett has said it. White liberals have said it. They said, so is breaking and entering a crime? Yes. Well, breaking into a country without going through the front door and immigration, well, that's a crime. No, it's not a crime. It's a misdemeanor. In a misdemeanor crime, motherfucker. See how they try to play games as if you're not listening? If we get up our emotions and pay attention to words, we'll kick them in the ass every turn. You'll beat them in debate every turn. Just pay attention to language. Well, misdemeanor is not a crime. Yes, it is, because you still have to go to court. You get a ticket. It's a crime. High level, low level, still a crime. Can someone come into your home? You ain't got to kick in the door. They may find a window open and they slide the window open. They don't have to break the glass to get in. To come in and have a seat in the living room, turn on the TV, cook something in the kitchen, clean up the kitchen afterwards. And then you come, hey, what the hell? It's okay. I didn't break a window or anything. I didn't kick the door in. I just made sure I cooked something, but I made sure I cleaned up. And so you're gonna say, oh, okay. Well, feel free to break in anytime I'm not home. Y'all see how much sense that makes and how they really think Democratic voters, black, white, and others are stupid. That's the Democratic arrogance and snidiness and condescension. That's them. They really think Democratic voters are dumb people, and especially the black ones. But I guess you can't help but think black voters are ignorant because they keep voting the same way, even though there's never been a different result. Shout out to insanity definition. Keep doing it. Then get mad at other blacks when we decide we don't want to go that route. Oh, you must be an old Trump supporter. You a traitor to your race. You just eat several dicks with hot sauce. This is weird. We're going to have to change our behavior. See, America is a place that's for the taking for whoever gets themselves together. But do it legally. But black people, we have not Who said hi? Teresa, is that Teresa Howard? About to get my glasses. Let me get some glasses so I can see what we get. Hold on. Let me get my glasses. Let me see if these are the right ones, because I'm a little over 19. Ooh, not these. These are my nearsighted. We try these. Oh, I'll read some of y'all stuff, but if it's not something, I'm not gonna read it. Let's see what we got here. Oh, there it is. Let me say Sean. Say Sean. Is it Son McClendon? What's good? What's good? Teresa Howard. Okay, retracted a message. Okay. All right. So that's that on the whole ICE thing. Jasmine Crockett tried to compare it to slave patrols. Then she was crying about the white woman, Jasmine Crockett, your black politician y'all just love because she talks crazy, but don't get none done in the House or in the Congress since you've been there, or giving that seat by an old black lady who didn't really do anything. Rest in peace, Eddie Bernice Johnson, but she didn't do shit either for the district in Dallas. It was a shithole under her, and it remained a shithole under Jasmine. Uh, Who's this? Teresa? Oh, I'm sorry. She said, didn't mean to do that, but hi anyway. Enjoy your chat. Thank you. Nancy says she's crazy. Yeah, please like, share, and subscribe. Just push that like. I appreciate it. If you like it, push that like for me. And feel free to join, subscribe. But anyway, and it's something else she just did. She did Slave Patrol. Oh yeah, she compared the LGBT, what they going through, to what black folks went through doing. Thank you, Nancy. Said just subscribe. I appreciate it. She said she described what LGBT is supposed to be going through to black people, what we were struggling through in the civil rights movement. Then she just did comparing what ICE is going through with legal warrants as slave patrols that hunted down escaped Africans, escaped black Americans, escaped Africans, or slave patrol. Did you have to have freedom papers? This bitch, I'm not gonna cuss, but this woman actually compared, and this is a black woman now, because y'all know she's a black woman now, because she says every time she opens her mouth, as a black woman. And by the way, I'm over that. Every time a sister opens her mouth, as a black woman, that don't make, that shit's annoying. We can see, Keisha, we can see, Lawanda, that you black. But I guess that's supposed to be a send out call, as a black woman. You don't even hear black men say, where's black men? Where's a black man? As a black man. Y'all, a lot of times, those who do that, you don't know how silly you sound. And so it was a whole lot of topics I wanted to go on. But if there's a particular topic, look at Maxine Waters. Yeah, she's a mess. Hey, Raina Thurman, Rozelle, hello. How are you? There are a lot of topics out there, but I want to start off with the ICE thing to officially say that has nothing to do with black people. That's not our business. And stop trying. And you black politicians, and you black preachers, and all you so-called directors of nonprofits, y'all stop trying to pull us in this bullshit. We're not going, and leave us alone. We're not. Because I haven't seen y'all work this hard to come together to get rid of the gangs. I haven't. Y'all didn't confront the gangs, but y'all will confront a black person if y'all find out that they voted for President Trump. But you won't confront no Crip and Blood. You won't confront these old funk ass rappers that all they talk about is murdering other black men and terrorizing the black neighborhood. Nancy worked for immigration, so you already got the inside on what they doing. And by the way, with the immigration thing, y'all, it's. I like the effort that the president is doing, but isn't it interesting that video after video after video showed that that Obama did the same, Biden did the same thing, everybody did the same thing. They all did the same thing. But about this president, all of a sudden, they've gotten together to brand him as the racist. And we've had all these presidents. We've had all these presidents during the days of slave codes and Jim Crow and all of that. But he is the racist. I'm not here to debate whether or not he is. So why is he the racist of all these other 45 or I'm gonna say 44 presidents we've had that's white, but he's the racist? Get out of here. And so, but anyway, hold on a second. So anyway, I want to talk about HBCUs. Oh, what's this? Okay, hold on a minute. Who's this? Is Andre? He said you are bitching about gangs. When they kill you, they go to jail. Really? They still multiply. But see, the issue here, and so you're here defending gangs, Andre? That's what's going on in black neighborhoods. And so are you out there confronting them like you trying to confront me? No. Because we're both in a safe space, right, brother? Or whatever you are. Right here on the internet. Yeah, so damn right. I'm not bitching about them. I'm making an observation. Yeah, so thing is, don't come over here defending no fucking gangs to me. Cause if you live the people who lived in that terror. Now you talking about domestic terrorists? That's who they are to the black neighborhoods. But then I blame the black neighborhoods for not reporting them, but they report them because they come from them. I live in LA and I help them find jobs. Good, great. They need more out there who help. No, you mean those who want jobs? Yeah, help them. But in the meantime, they still terrorize. Number two, instead of addressing me, address the folks who created them. Now I know we get into the whole systematic part of it, and also the drug dealers in the black neighborhood. These are the people that's causing problems in our community. Where we trying to live. You said, I have 10 grandsons, and yes, I don't like gangs. That's right. I don't give them no favor. Because one thing about people who join gangs, they have a choice just like me and you. They ain't coming. Our conditions will be under no different than theirs. I came under a single mom and it was there when crack hit my neighborhood. But you know what I didn't do? I didn't sell any crack that had no design. I was hungry. When the food stamps ran out, we was fucked for a whole week. We was out for a whole week. But then the welfare checks came. So you have a choice. If you're angry, get angry. Do something about it. Enroll your ass in school. Go to the military. You don't take it out on your brother. You don't take it out on your sister. You don't become a savage to your own people. It's time for that old sociology to be put to bed. That's that old sociology that's been placed on us by white liberals back in the 40s and 50s. Let's study the Negro and its inhabitant. Let's see if we take out all of the resources, and then they have no other choice but to feed upon each other. Yes, let's see how the Negro responds when there's no... We're not doing that anymore. We're not doing that. Yeah. We're not doing that anymore. That's that old sociology. It's 2026. Motherfuckers can talk to each other by looking at their watch. People have personal handheld drones. You mean we can't do nothing about the gang problem in these black neighborhoods? And I'm certainly not going to defend them because they do too much damage, and we stand around and watch them do it. And then first we say fuck the police. Then we say, well, somebody need to call the police. Well, if you can harass somebody in private or anonymously on social media, how come you can't call the police anonymously? Well, I said that it's that trauma. We're afraid of our own shadow, and these children come from black vaginas, black penises. So yeah, I got something to say about it. And those who try to defend gangs, you don't live nowhere near them. You probably live in a nice white suburb. Your children probably go to well-funded, beautiful schools. You don't live nowhere near. So yeah, I got elevated. Don't try to defend no goddamn gangs and no punk ass rapper. I know I threw in a rapper. You didn't say rappers, but the two go hand in hand. Because the only way for them to get a rap contract, they have to sell nigger. They have to sell violence. They have to sell homosexuality. They have to present that. They can't get a record deal anymore like they did in the 80s and 90s by being a decent human being. You know, we don't have any Big Daddy Kanes and Will Smiths, be that as it may. Will Smiths anymore. We don't have Kwame. We don't have De La Soul. We don't have that anymore. The young people that go into rap now, you said dancing with a high gate around your house. That's right. What's up, Nicole Jones? What's good? Please just all I ask you to do is press the like button on this. And so, yeah, I have I'm real sensitive about this because a lot of old people who say, you know what, I ain't got to move. I was here before they mammoths was born. So why I got to move? And they're right. Why they got to leave? But also, why they have to live in terror? Because we decided to give up on the kids. We push them out of our vaginas, ladies living there. And fellas, you skeet them in these vaginas. And ladies, you push them out, but you don't raise them. Again, we all came up under some nonsense. But you make a choice. And right now, too many of our young people have made a choice not to go to school, not to go to the library, not to get in, not to go to trade school. Too many. Too many have too many have chosen not to learn how to read. It's weird. Y'all think that's weird? I sub in some high schools. These supposed to be suburban. Damn kids can't even write their names. These are 9th and 10th graders. Can barely write their names. Barely read. But they all love NBA Youngboy. So that's no one rapper in the country for y'all children. NBA can't speak English, and these not. I'm not just talking about immigrants who don't know how to speak English. We have damn. Wait a minute. Admin group. Don't put that. Was that? Is that? Now you got me stumped. Uh, so don't play it. Don't come in here playing. So, yeah, can't and say I can't. Yeah, can't speak English. A lot of them can't. You know, and everything we do, and then and the young people that try, I can't read numbers. There's something 2 + 2 equal. There's something squared there. But anyway, I don't speak in numbers every day. I speak in words. Thank you, smart ass. I don't have to. Speaking in numbers is not what we do every day. We speak in words. And a lot of our young people have not mastered words. That's the issue. I appreciate your attempt. Yeah. Yeah. So then this live one is gonna I'm gonna take it down. This live gonna stay out. But anyway, y'all. So I want to get into and any topic y'all want me to expound upon, just put it on the page. I'll talk about it. But these are one that's on my mind. And by the way, appreciate everybody who was chimed in on that Mr. Tendernism, that old guy. And shout out to Pink Book Lessons, man. She been on it. Well, and Willie D for doing the interview. If y'all kept up with that whole saga of uh of Unc over at the Destination Smokehouse in California and all that, and the dude trying to copyright tendernism and all of that. So, and I think it's gotten down to this point where people have all agreed because they tried. He came to his rescue, or they brought out some stuff that was going on with this old guy and the Caucasian that owned the restaurant. It's the same old stuff. Put the Negro out front, and he tap dance and generate business for the corporation. Same thing. But I don't think about this old guy. He's old and he's okay where he is. I appreciate the sleuths, the super sleuths and detectives of TikTok. Man, you talking about, man, they was on it. Went and found everything. But the old guy's okay with it. So I never had any intention to go to that restaurant anyway. But we've kind of moved on. The old guys made it official. Look, I love these people, and I's doing fine here. Y'all always need to leave them alone. These good people's here, and they's been good to me, and so leave the old man alone. We moved on. All the correct and the perfect information has been put out there, and so the old man likes it there, and they give him bread and they give him a bowl of water, and he's fine with that. He's about 79, 80 years old. He's on his way out, so that's his way of having his little peace, and he don't mind being their mascot. So no, go ahead and let him know. As old folks say, let him alone. And so that's the whole, and I'm not even going to rehash all that. If you want to hear all that information, what's going on as relates to the old guy at the restaurant up there, just go to Pink Book Lessons. She's done a great job, that sister. She hit 500,000 subscribers. I should be lucky. She's really good. A lot of YouTubers are good at what they do. I'm trying to learn. I think if I paid more attention to this channel, I would get better. I tend to just speak when I have something to say. My goal here was to be able to link y'all up, and if y'all want to come on and talk, I don't know how that works. If anybody want to, because YouTube doesn't allow you when you're on your cell phone to talk to people directly. So I'll just speak. Uh, and something that's near and dear to my heart, I want to bring up historically Black colleges, universities, because I saw something on Facebook, and it had like these four old blacks. They had formed this group in the state of Virginia for the HBCUs there. Shout out to the HBCUs in Virginia, via Norfolk State, and what else is there? Hampton, and what else is there? They say they got like 4 or 5 HBCUs in Hampton, and I'm sorry, in Virginia, the state of Virginia. So they formed like a little conglomerate. And let me tell you, everybody that looked like they were brought out of their nursing home to do this press conference. Just old blacks. And then something dawned on me. Whenever we hear the topic of HBCUs and some people trying to get together to formulate permanent funding or something, it's always people over 60, 70. You rarely see any blacks in their 20s and 30s really pushing for HBCUs. I never noticed that. And then they leave it up to the president of the United States. Well, Biden did this. And Trump didn't do nothing. Trump, he put 500 million. Biden did something. Trump made it, well, they don't have to come to the White House. It's an automatic permanent money that goes to HBCUs. But here's the deal. I brought this up on that page, and a couple of people became upset with me because I said it. One girl came out and said, well, why you complaining about it? Won't you try to we say Teresa Show said, doing a good job. Truth is always refreshing. Subscribers will come. Thank you. That's all I have is my opinion to share with you. If you're interested, keep coming back. We can talk. And my goal is to turn this into a radio show. We can all just have conversations about what's going on. And some people think my delivery is to be less than be desired. And I understand that. But I'm not going to change my delivery because everyone else has their own unique way of doing things. I like to think that I'm fair. However, and so the people became a little bit upset about it. I said, how come it's always old blacks? You never see any young people. But then I looked up the numbers, and it's go either way. And I told the lady, she said, instead of complaining, why don't you go, maybe you contact the people and maybe you can join in with them to help get the word out. I said, first of all, I wasn't complaining. I made an observation, and it was a legitimate observation. Where are the young people? Well, the youth, 20-something to 30-something, even to 40. All these people look 70 and up. Talking about some damn coming together to form a conglomerate or some kind of way to get funding for HBCUs. Two things. Let me share something with y'all. And this is where the black community kind of, and I think a lot of them get upset with me because I point out the hypocrisy. Not because I hate my community. I want us to stop playing games and concentrate and get focused on what we should be doing in this country. That is concentrating on us the way every other group does. Again, we got distracted on other stuff. And so, because I listen to a lot of Dr. Claude Anderson and Neely Fuller and some old Dr. Francis Cresswell. So, our scholars, Dr. Ben and Dr. John Henry Clark, John George G. Jackson, our scholars. Come on, somebody. Sister Dr. Joy Leary, people like that. So I listen to the scholars. And so I said, I'll tell you what, how about this? So the guy trying to get smart. She tried to get smart with me. Told me, why don't you go up there and join with them and help them? I said, okay, let me share something with you. Young blacks don't give a shit about HBCUs. They don't. As proven, as evidenced by 248,000 black kids, black students, FBA, attend black colleges. Did y'all hear what I just said? 200, about roughly 247, 248. You can Google it, maybe off a couple of thousand. It's something like that. Attend, maybe it's going up to 300,000 still. Attend HBCUs, these 100 HBCUs. But 2.9 million, 2.85 million attend PWIs, white colleges. So what part of that tells you that black kids give a shit about HBCUs? 2.8 million black kids attend white colleges, but only 248,000 attend black colleges. Y'all see the difference? We can't even get, out of 46 million blacks in this country, FBA, we can't send 500,000 black kids to HBCUs? See, don't we look at things as a business? I told y'all about an hour ago that America is a capitalistic country. It deals with capitalism. And then all these people who graduate with these business degrees and economics degrees, you always say in Business 101, in order for a business to survive, you need what? Customers. So if all your customers are going to another company, how the hell is your company going to survive? HBCUs should have at least 700 to 1 million students. Oh shit, what was that? Robot, okay, haven't come across your content in a while. Good to catch you live. Would love to hear your take on the Corey Holcomb, Anton Daniels thing if you have been following it. Robo, I have been following it, and just give me a minute. As a matter of fact, I'll get to that next. But I want to finish this HBCU one, right? Okay. And press that like button for me if you don't mind, and share this thing. And so we have a problem here in Denmark. In Houston, we have a problem. So we can't keep talking about racism and all this going on. It's systematic, but as Dr. Claude Anderson talks about, there's a particular behavior that we're supposed to be exemplifying, even in racism. But we're not doing that to the best of our ability. Simple stuff. And guess what else I learned? Part 2. You got all these black kids who don't go to HBCUs, and all these excuses for reasons why. Number 2, hell, a lot of black parents who attended HBCUs don't even send their own kids to HBCUs. Come on, somebody. Hallelujah. Oh, glory. Ooh, about to wrap up. Don't make no damn sense. But y'all want to talk about Trump and racism all day long. Get out of here. There's some things you can do. So when I saw that, I said, y'all just stop. Just stop. You can't even get black celebrities to talk about HBCUs. Did you know a lot of black celebrities, if the only HBCU that the world think exists, these 3 right here, we got 100 of them now. Howard, Morehouse, and Spelman. 2 private and a public ones that everybody seems to want to get into. We have 97 more. Some have closed. A lot of them are on the verge of close. A lot of them have turned into PWIs. They got Bluefield State, and I think, and Lincoln University in Missouri. I don't know where Bluefield's located. They're like 6% Caucasian students. Because black kids are not interested in going to HBCUs. So why the hell y'all get these old ass black folks putting these so-called panels together for HBCUs? Then you want to talk to us about black men aren't attending HBCUs for whatever reason, whatever. You're not recruiting black men. And also, HBCUs are not the same HBCUs in the 90s. HBCUs now, unfortunately, have become hotbeds for Democratic ideology, LGBT, misandrous behavior, feminist nonsense. And so why the hell would a heterosexual masculine black male want to enroll in schools that's set up to fuck with them for 4 years? Only if they come as an athlete. They don't want black boys at these HBCUs. They're taking on the behavior of a lot of these PWIs. They don't want black boys, heterosexual masculine black boys, at these HBCUs unless they're playing sports. Yeah, they're having the same attitude, just like PWIs. The HBCUs aren't recruiting, going out and recruit biology majors and math majors, STEM major black males. They're not. They want all of them to be able to catch a ball, dunk a basketball, maybe jump a hurdle in track. Here, a lot of them are immigrants at these HBCUs. Don't get me to start talking about them. And to tell some more truth, Renee Thurman, Roselle, 4630, to tell some more truth, a lot of black graduates, all they give a shit about is the homecoming. That's all. Yeah, they said, yeah, I'm a lifetime member and all that, but if you truly care about HBCUs, well, all these platforms that they have access to, you'll be mentioning HBCUs. So they think about bringing out that new different world, like that's going to contribute to the increase of people wanting to go to HBCUs. It's not, because it's not going to be done in the same spirit. Let me see. Teresa says, my sister went to an HBCU and had to go back to school after she got out. The truth is the schools need to be upgraded with the truth also. Yeah. When we were in school, let me tell y'all something. When I was in my beloved Grambling State University, I was there for undergrad and graduate school. We had less than Louisiana Tech, but our graduates came out more polished. You know why? Because we had black professors who were into blackness, into black culture, and they taught us, you're not going to sleep in this class, and we have this here for you to learn, and you have to be 5 to 10 times better than your counterparts. And they made sure, yeah, we partied like everybody else on the weekends. We had some that fall off, no regular 18 to 23-year-olds. But in our school, they pushed the culture, not this BET culture. They pushed our scholars, they pushed our history, they pushed the pride of who we are, not gay pride, actual black pride. And so therefore we took our studies seriously. And so a lot of Gen Xers that come out, they are CEOs, they're business owners, they run an industry, they came out. Because even though, and one thing about a lot of HBCUs, a lot of us came from the hood. We came there knuckle dragging and feet dragging. By the time we made late sophomore, early junior, we walking upright and ready to go. So we walk across stage, graduation, we were on our way, already had jobs. And corporations, Procter & Gamble, you name it. They came to HBCUs because they knew that they were preparing us to be not only corporate leaders, but also leaders in entrepreneurship. They already knew. I don't know what they're producing now, except for people who are still curious about their sexuality and curious about whether or not you're a Republican or Democrat and all the wrong stuff. And also, you know what else happened in these HBCUs? The 90s was the last decade up until 1998, I think. A lot of husbands and wives were created at these HBCUs, not baby mamas. We had some couple of folks who had to drop out. They got pregnant and dropped out, but you ain't see no pregnant chicks walking around HBCUs en masse. I know about 2 girls in the whole 6 years I was there, undergrad and graduate school. They walked around there pregnant. One of them, they were married couple off campus. They just won't walk around there pregnant. This is the 90s. Now, shit. I think they even had a little daycare. But you ain't see but maybe 2 or 3 kids. Right off campus right there at Grambling. They had a little daycare there. But it wasn't a daycare full of kids. It had about maybe 2 or 3 kids there running around. So, but the standards and the values have fallen off so horribly because the administration sucks. The administration, a bunch of very people who push a lot of the shenanigans at these HBCUs. And we had our times, there, but we were in better times for HBCUs, and they need to bring blackness back to HBCUs. Real blackness, not democratic blackness, not LGBT blackness, not feminist query blackness. Real, true. Malcolm, Ida B. Wells, John Henry Clark, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, real blackness. Sheikh Diop, Queen Azinga, real blackness. And the list goes on. That's what I need to bring back. So let me get on this Corey. Let me get on this Corey Holcomb, Anton Daniels. All right. So having said that, yeah, I saw when they got into it, and I want to take it piece by piece, if I may. I may miss some stuff. Even as we speak, I was watching just before I came on live an hour ago. Duke Jackson was talking about the recent thing. Now they're trying to take Corey out about a situation that happened a year ago. See how that system works? They try him out. I'm gonna go line by line for what I've been watching and what you've been watching. And so I saw the whole conversation that they had, right? Corey Holcomb he's almost like, when it comes to calling out these conservatives, or those he believe conservative, he's a gorilla with it. And so his language, my man, what's up, bub? He he's not eloquent with his words. If you watch his channel, you know what to expect from Corey. I'ma tell you that you are a sellout, and you be with that backdooria. No, that's Corey Holcomb. He has no chaser. He just like that. And if he suspects you of being one of those folks, backdoorians, or one of these conservative bootleg kiss asses, he was going to tell you. That's how he rolls. He talks about how they get on in Hollywood, and I believe everything he says. Because not the first time what Corey Holcomb says about these so-called actors and actresses in Hollywood, how they get down. He's there. He sees them. You know, him and Cat Williams, they tell the truth about these busters, and they mad about it. But also, Corey Holcomb, no, he's no angel. He has flaws, and so, but also then you have Anton Daniels. And I watch a lot of his stuff, but then just like a self-proclaimed conservative, he does okay, but then it's like a switch goes on in his head. The Cartier brothers, Anthony Browder founders, Anthony Browder Johnson, whatever his name is, all of the Negro conservatives, they make their money off of pointing out what's going on in Black America. And it's and a lot of them have done it. Tommy did it. But one thing about Tommy that's different from a lot of these folks, if there's a difference, Tommy actually had, Tommy in his heart had love for the Black community. Tommy's coming from a childhood hurt and pain, but he told the truth. And he touched on a group that was dare not to be touched on, that is Black women. He wasn't supposed to call out Black women's flaws. His delivery was a lot of times less to be desired. I think a lot of Tommy Sotomayor was pretty much taken out because of his delivery. Now, if he had spoken like a Harvard scholar about the behaviors of women in the Black community, he never said all. But we cannot act like with the women that he spoke about is not still real. As a matter of fact, it's been monetized. It's gotten even worse since he's been taken off YouTube. He's on what's the other one? Rumble. But he's into some other stuff. And a lot of us, we don't go to Rumble. We stick with, I guess, the brand stuff like Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. If they let him come back to YouTube, I wouldn't be upset about it. He still has something to add. But he too, flag waving conservative, and they all have something to say. So I don't just turn the page. But those who I believe don't have any love for Black folks, and they got personal issues that they want to talk about, because some stuff, trauma that they want to vomit on the Black community, well, that's a different thing. And so Anton Daniels, he presents like, I still live in Detroit. Do you really, brother? You live on the suburb. or Detroit. That's a different thing. And Anton, he talks about the back chasers. He talks about that. And says a lot of stuff that's true. But then, just like all those conservatives, they have to go down. Okay, I've shared some things that make sense that a lot of black folks can't disagree with, but also I got to appease my conservative white audience. Because believe it or not, the black conservative crowd is not big like that. It's all white folks and Republicans and right wingers who listen to these black pundits, conservative pundits, run down black folks. That's how they make their money. Is that's the truth? And like again, a lot of them, I listen to the Cartier brothers. Now I watch those little twins. They're just some donkeys. The mulatto twins, whatever. I don't. They're just some clowns. I don't listen to them at all. The Cartier brothers, dickheads. They may say a couple of things that's right, but it's got the one of them, and they love throwing out the N word. These little so-called black commentators, the ones who are kind of ignorant, they love saying the N word. Anton Daniel threw out the N word and cuss, cuss, cuss. Then you got some that don't use not one cuss word. They don't use not one cuss word. They can keep my attention a little longer because I don't have to listen to all that cursing. If you're talking about what's going on in the black community, I want to see what connection you have. You know, I can talk about. Should I talk about HBCUs? I went to a HBCU, and I love HBCUs. I want to see them do better. I can talk about the Black Greek-led organizations. I had fun watching them. They're a nice part. They're an intricate part of the HBCU experience, but they're not They're not the total HBCU experience. I used to go to all the Greek shows. I went to the fraternity parties. That's where all the women were. Went to AKA parties because AKAs were cute. And so you can talk about it, but also you can participate in the change. One thing I don't like about these black conservatives is you pointed out, but how are you participating in that change that you said it needs to happen? Anton has his audience. I'll check him out. But with that whole Corey Holcomb thing, and Corey Holcomb said this. He said, "You be kissing ass for white folks, kissing ass." And that's always been used when it comes to conservatives. A lot of them do. You know, I guess it's the term. Now, if he had said, now you really be catering to your white audience, probably came across so rough, but that's how Curry talks. You be kissing ass. But Anton said you be sucking the dingling of the black community. Now that hit a little differently. Now, some of you may say, well, wait a minute. Now, he said he kissing ass, but kissing ass is almost like a normal thing. You say, stop kissing ass, stop smoozing, stop kissing up. But when you say you're sucking the D, that's something else. And I tried to wrap my brain around it. Why would you say, now you could have said, Corey, you're kissing that, you kiss ass of the black community whenever you do your presentation or whatever. But he said, you sucking the D. See, that came from a hurtful, a vengeful place when you say something like that. Now, for Corey to go out for him and turn it into something homosexual, well, that's, Corey, don't play with them backdoorians. That's something Corey need to work out with him and his therapist or work out with somebody else. Cause I heard how Corey tried to take it, where he took it. But I said, now, why did Anton say that like that? Unless he actually has a subconscious or even a not so subconscious dislike or an embarrassment for the black community. And one thing that throws me off when Anton says the black culture is trash. See, when he says the black culture. Now, I just mentioned the HBCU culture and the black culture. But see, Anton, black culture is not what you think it is. There are a lot of us who are cultured in a sense of we like jazz, we like original hip hop, we like modern dance, we like salsa, we like all sorts of things. We like cultural things. The masses of us are behaving. But when you make your money off of talking about one segment of the black community, you make the mistake of thinking that's the group. And it's not true, Anton. See, that's where that came from. You're sucking the D of the black community. Well, you should have said, Anton, you are catering or you kiss ass to a particular segment of the black community, or but uh, that we should have said. But and if you watch enough of Anton's content, he always says the black culture is trash as he critiquing some black dudes fighting or running out of a store or some black women fighting. That's not black culture. Every culture of people has what's called a subculture. Gangs are a subculture of the black community. It's not the culture. A lot of these rappers, they're a subculture. But Anton likes to concentrate on the subculture. That is what gets an erection, if you will, from white conservatives talking about that. That to make themselves feel better as a group. And that is in order to get the money flowing. To get and also, see, I can have a conversation with the black community, but you know what I'm not gonna do? Is get on conservative talk radio and talk about black people. Tommy did the same shit. Uh, Anton got on Fox News. I'm not gonna get on Fox News because I don't hate my people. Even with the subculture, I say those of us who know better, we can build a fence and get these motherfuckers out of here. Y'all see what I'm talking about? And so that whole thing was just so unfortunate. There's subcultures in every group, but these black conservatives, they love to only concentrate on the subculture as if it's who we are. That's not who we are. The bulk of us, masses of us, are out here having a blast, living our best lives. Even if we're sad, we're connecting with one another and we're supporting each other therapeutically and emotionally. I call my friends, they call me, and other people. We're putting together things to try to make sure that our mental health is in order. Good mental health is the serving of the day. So that's where that you sucking the D, because Anton actually has a particular disdain for the black community, but really for the subculture. That's where that sucking the D came from. But then again, I saw it was not long after that episode with Corey, I saw Anton on his own Lapeef Network where he talks with those chicks and the little dude, one of the dudes is kind of effeminate. And the first thing, I guess him and Anton had a disagreement. The first thing Anton said, well, you gay for women. I was like, and dude like, what? I'm not gay. Well, you gay for women. And the brother said, well, you said something to him, I guess what he's gay for, whatever. But I'm like, well, wait a minute, Anton, how do you have a disagreement? Yeah, the dude sound effeminate. But why did gay come out your mouth as a diss to that dude when it was in a disagreement? When that wasn't the topic. So I don't know if Anton has a fetish or whatever with gay, or that's who he used as a heavy. I don't know what the issue is, but him saying it to Corey is nothing new. Using gay scenarios as a diss and a lot of his stuff to try to shut you down. And so I think that's what pissed Corey off. So now, and you know, again, did I just tell y'all Corey has no filter? He has no fences, no boundaries. Then he was talking, I saw the clip where he was talking about his wife and his daughter, and he's referred to his daughter like, get that N-word off the screen, man. And then people are like, oh no, Corey, children, minors, they're off limits. Wife and kids off limits. But then they brought up the video where, uh, so Renee, why you retract your message? How's he retracting your message? So it's not true anymore? Renee Arthur, Mandrozo. So what I'm saying, you said true, but then you retract. Oh damn. So anyway, and then just like super sleuths are on social media, somebody went and found a video where he was talking about the wives and children of the Hebrew Israelites. They looking dusty. The kids are dusty. The women are dusty. So you can't, Anton, you can't be upset when I guess when they got hold to your wife and child, and then but you dissed the whole group's women and children because you didn't like the Hebrew Israelites. I don't care for them standing around, but I never thought about to attack the women in the Hebrew Israelites or the children of the Hebrew Israelites. And there is supposed to be a little honor there, a little respect, but Anton, you're the one who brought it out first. Now Anton wants to try to sue Corey Holcomb. See, this kind of shit. Y'all had your little verbal back and forth, but you want to sue. That makes you know, like, dude, if you ain't about that life, don't be messing with these dudes. Because one thing about street dudes and all that, they have no boundaries. One thing you don't do is mess with cats who ain't got nothing to lose. Now Corey's rich, and Anton said, I'm rich. Two rich dudes out here talking like they just be in the streets battling over colors. It was unfortunate. Um, if both of them got off the internet, it'll be fine. We wouldn't lose nothing. So, and I hope I was able to give, and what else? That's how it is. I guess I have to really care in order to go into any further, but if I'm not here to say who won. I'm just sharing my thoughts on both of them, and it's unfortunate, but it was like an even trade, if you ask me. Um, they, but Anton got some other issues. Y'all want to hear something? I know y'all never thought of this. Because Corey's always been open about, his kids, how, fool with him or they don't fool with him. He's always talked about all that. Ex-baby mamas, he's talked about all of that. So really, there's nothing that we'd be shocked about and said about Corey. Even him getting into it, that lady, even that's kind of go back and forth. She wants to play victim, but that night, she wants such a victim. Going, yeah, mother lover, yeah, be weird, yeah, but no, I mean, you saw the video. Yeah. It's going, ladies. I just want to say this: I don't advocate a man just hitting a woman because of her words, but I do advocate that, ladies, y'all look at how men act. I want to say to any one of y'all as a man to man, can I get in your face and just talk shit to you, tell you ain't shit, F you and blah, blah, blah? No, you're going to be in the sprung on me. And guess what? As a man, I know about that boundary. So if you punch me, I don't think people going to stand around and say, well, man, you ain't had to hit the man. The man was just talking. You ain't had to. No, so for those of you who say, well, Corey didn't have to mug her, and even Corey admitted, man, I mushed the bitch. Mush, like, get on somewhere, bitch. But I guess the video is showing a little more than a mush. So I need y'all to continue to pay attention to what women are saying. They want equal rights. They talk about equal rights. They have equal rights. And like Tommy Sotomayor said, if they come at you with equal rights you deserve, you have the right to respond with equal lefts. So if I can't walk up in a man based on the whole premise of equality, ladies, I already know as a man, I can't get another man face. I don't care how man I am and say, yeah, be weird. You ain't shit, little D, mother lover. You ain't ish and blah, blah. And don't think he's going to either, if he don't sock me, he'll push my ass over 2 cars at least. Push my ass across the parking lot. So how come women don't understand that's how that works in equality? If you're going to talk shit in a man's face, he has to be the disciplined one? That ain't how that works. But luckily, lucky for the ladies and the beta males, they're going to sue. And everybody has the right to sue. But I just think it's unfortunate. And I don't want no smoke with nobody. I ain't trying to get in no fights. I probably got in 3 fights before high school, and that was it for me. I'm 56 years old. I ain't trying to do none of that. And I don't want to talk too long with nobody either. So you ain't got to get in my face. I'm not going to get in yours. No, I ain't built for none of that. But but there's people like, yeah, mom, you got me though. Yeah, mother lover. Yeah. Some people, that's traumatic, you be in people's face. Some of these men out here, you get in their face talking and just talking. There are men who have a rule. Like, look, bro, we ain't finna do this spit boxing. If you got something on your chest, get it out. 2 pieces and a pepper. He go to biscuit too, motherfucker. So yeah, men aren't built equally. Some of them sit there and let you just talk trash. Cause they under that rule where, she's talking. I ain't gonna hit her. I'll be less of a man if I mugged, if I hit her in the face. And then a lot of guys say, oh, cool, you ain't have to hit her, man. She won't do nothing but talking shit. Men have, see, this is one thing about that. Boys and men have emotions. We have ego and pride just like the women do. Ladies, if you want to get in a man's face, that means you've abdicated your reality of being, or your gender as being a woman. Because, see, a feminine woman wouldn't be arguing with a man. I don't care if he called her a bitch. She was like, oh, no. And she'll grab a purse like, I don't. That's the femininity in her, because when she responds that way, there'll be some dude who say, oh, cuz that wasn't necessary. Dude, what you doing? But if you're like, oh, no, you ain't gonna call me no bitch. No, well, you've abdicated your status as a woman. You decide to get into a gladiator man space. Am I condoning any violence? No, I live in reality. I live a life as a man. I lived one as a teenage boy. I understood then. If you don't want to smoke, don't strike the match. And that's what women gonna have to learn. If you're gonna be a woman, be a woman. If you're gonna be a man, baby. And go and so you can experience what men go through when we dealing with one another. You know what I'm saying? So that lady don't get on TMZ trying to cry tears, but then be halfway a smart mouth on Tasha K. So Anton, don't be suing people now, bro. But you have the right to. What you suing about? Because you now, based on that, the Hebrew Israelites could sue you for defaming their women and their kids. Anton? Again, everybody has something, I think, positive to contribute to this social media part of conversation. We all do. We all do. Good, bad, ugly, and different. But we're going to have to understand that the underlying rules are real rules. Ladies, gentlemen, look, all I do is I just say my little thoughts. I say, I don't want none of that. But if you get in it, be in it. And then what comes with it. You can't volunteer to get in, and then because it don't go your way, all of a sudden, I need the laws on these folks' ass. Yeah, I'm finna sue you. I'm a lady. You hit a lady. I'm a girl. You knew you were a girl before you walked up and talking smack. But then the video said, it shows him walking up on her. Yes, and if it, just like O'Shea Duke Jackson said, if you look at the video, you had all the chance in the world, Corey, to walk off from that lady. And that's what men do. Don't pay attention to them. Because that's all they got is their mouth. Now, if she had walked up on you talking trash, I understand it. But you could have walked on, but his ego, his pride, his savagery wouldn't allow him to walk off and be okay with it. So so Renee Arthur, who's that? Robot, I think you're the one who posed that question. I hope I answered it okay. Cause that's pretty much all I got on that, and may the best person win, man or woman in this thing. It's just a bunch of nonsense. You know what that's going on? I just move on to the next video. I'm like, shit, what's going on? Oh, well, thank you, Robot Tries. Because then I said, what Kwame Brown talking about? Now Anton and Kwame Brown, and Kwame's my man. And again, I like some stuff that Anton says, but you can, everybody. I have quite a few people I listen to, and I chew off the meat and spit out the bones with all of them. When the stuff gets too rough, I'm like, okay, Cartier brothers, y'all take y'all little weekend. Go, I'm done with y'all today. Y'all went too far, and they all do that. Candace Owens, I think I'll debate anybody. But her rhetoric about George Floyd and all of that, that's like, no, that'll make me want to literally smack the shit out of her. But also on the other end, I like, hey, had she not met that white boy, I would dare anybody talk crazy to my old lady. Because she'd have been my old lady. Smart, pretty as a picture, cute little shape on her. Yeah. That's how a lot of conservatives do. They cater to their base. And but one thing about Candace has gone into another stratosphere. One thing about these black conservatives, they won't they won't get on. She's gotten on Israel. She's gone in. She got on Turning Point. They won't do that. See, they ain't brave enough and tough enough. Candace got plenty of money and she got a husband with money. So she like, oh, forget that. I can say what I want to say. But a lot of these little black conservatives, they ain't that tough. The ones who try to talk so crazy about black folks. One thing about Candace, I have to give it to her, she spreads it around. Everybody been getting that work. Everybody got it from her in 25. And them folks are mad at her. And she became, let me tell you something. Y'all ain't been paying attention. Her podcast, Candace on out, they fired her from the Daily Wire, and it's the best thing they could have done. The number one podcast, about 80-some million views or something, killing the game. That chick's, they did her a favor. When she got the Candace Owens show, killing it on her own. You don't really need all that. Just do it yourself and have a personality, have, I guess, the right production or whatever. I think she does, and come to find out, she does that from one of her bedrooms, one of the rooms in her home. Got it fixed up real nice. Making all the money, killing it, and she's articulate. I have Candace Owens. If I had a meeting, if I invite a Women's Day or something in a company, I would invite her instead of a Michelle Obama, because Candace gets down to it. I think Candace should be the Republican person, the conservative on The View. Because on The View, they had that wee little white girl, these little pretty little white girl. Well, not like they used to. But they had these little white women and Joy and that idiot, what's that broad's name? Whoopi, Joy, and the other little blonde and the little mulatto lady that talk crazy about black men. Sonny. Candace would eat their lunch daily. They have to have I'm telling you so badly that they would have a private meeting to try to get the producers of the show to buy her out of a contract and remove her from that show. Candace would, man, oh God, she would be great on that show. And they'll be in what you call an equal balance of topics and opinions and conversations. And the Republican or the Conservative Party will actually have someone with the balls and the ovaries enough to stand up against those wicked witches of The View. Little McCain's daughter, the little Sarah, who not Sarah, Sarah's on there. She's Sarah Hines is with them. Y'all know, sitting on the right side of the table. Every time they have a Republican female, she's not very strong. But Candace Owens, she'll kick their ass. But she's got so much going on. She probably wouldn't have time to do The View. They probably can pay her enough. But I think it'll take $20 million a year to do that. Because she'll definitely bring in the ratings. Yeah, I read that, those little sagging ratings. But I would watch it just if Candace is on there. At least they have her on on Fridays. Or have her on once a week. I watch that show when Candace Owens is on there. Oh, yeah. Killing it. And so, but anyway... are there any other topics y'all want me to share my thoughts on? Because I can't remember the list that I made. I did a whole list of topics. So I want to know, if anybody's on here, I want to know, what do y'all think about, oh yeah, here's this one. They're saying Trump is erasing Don Lemon. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Let me tell you something about that son of a bitch. Donna Lemonade sucks, and no pun intended. But he gonna bust his ass up in that church because he trying to get a story. But I just read also, you have to, when y'all see these things, you have to do the follow-up reading. Go around and find it, and then come to find out that the feds have yet to charge him, or they don't see any charges they can bring against him. When I think that's unfair, and also, how come they only had 2 people arrested? 3, these 2 black chicks and this weirdo liberal white guy. It should have been at least 20 people arrested. How y'all gonna take that little fake ass protest in these people's church because y'all mad about ICE? But again, that's up there. So, Don is mad because Nicki Minaj called him out, called him a D-sucker, a C suckers. He tweeted, and we'll get on Nikki in a second too. Uh, shit. They have that little back and forth. Then he called himself, well, from what I understand, Nikki, you don't know shit. No trying to curse. You don't know shit, Nikki, or what you're talking about. And you're an immigrant, from what I understand. You're an immigrant, and blah, blah, blah. Oh, so now Nikki's not black. You said, oh, yeah, you're not black. You're an immigrant. Oh, he got real pissy. Look, I said, look at him. Look at him. She called his little ass out. And the Democrats are evil people. You call them out on their stuff. And he's a disgusting liberal gay dude. Let me tell you something. Don Lemon sat on his show, and for all those years, he said a lot of weird stuff about black people and black men who did not vote Democrat. He too was part of that crew. They all fired from their shows now, from Tiffany Cross to Joyless Reed to him and others who lost those jobs at these liberal corporations, by MSNBC, CNN. They lost jobs talking crazy about black folks, specifically black men who didn't vote for Kamala Harris or who don't vote Democrat. And so he said, I remember when he sat on his show when there was something going on, he said, white men are the most dangerous men in America. Why he go home and eat the penis of a white man every night. Did I tell y'all earlier these old so-called black liberals that talk all this racism and black stuff, they're in interracial relationships or gay relationships? That's why you don't pay them any attention. All you have to do is go home to where they live. They don't live in the hood nowhere. They're not supposed to. I'm just saying. You know, their leaders are not like Malcolm and Ida B. Wells and them. What have Republicans did for us? I know. There you go, broken history. There's nobody talking about no damn Republicans. And let me say it to you: it is not expecting for Republicans to do anything for us, but believe it or not, if you want to go there, a lot of the civil rights and a lot of the stuff that we ever gotten, Republicans signed off on it. Go look at history. Well, I know you're talking about in recent history since Trump was elected. That's what you're talking about. And also broken history. For 60 years, we've voted at 95% for Democrats. So why would we even expect anything from Republicans? Why would they even have a conversation? You know, these Republicans, they ain't doing enough for us because we voted 7% for them and they need to. You see how much sense that make broken history? I know you thought you ate with that question. But actually what you did was just burped. So there's no expectation because they've never said they're the leadership of black voters or they want to see this for black folks. Now, y'all know, you know what Republicans think about black folks for the most part. But we were led to believe that Democrats, that's the party of black people. And then they compare us, that's the party of poor whites. And why we got to be compared to poor whites, though? A lot of us have college degrees and all this. Some of us, during COVID, we had to start over because fucked a lot of us up. But no, I don't want to be compared to no poor white folks and no immigrants. I'm FBA, damn it. So anyway, Don Lemon said all that, and the rest of them, they thought they could sit on these white platforms and disrespect black men. Now, ain't none of them got no jobs. So Nicki Minaj came after that little punk. He's mad about it. He's pissed about it. And even I'll go even further. Not just Don Lemon, but Joy Reid, Tiffany Cross, Jasmine Crockett, all of them are upset with Stephen A. Smith. And you know, Stephen A. Smith or Stephen A. Snitch, Stephen A. Boy. You know, by the way, Stephen A. Smith, why were you at them high schools, boy? Attacking an 18-year-old young man just starting in the NBA, boy. Shout out to Kwame Brown. Why were you at them high schools, boy? Belittling an 18-year-old who was the #1 draft pick in 2000. Going touring high schools talking bad about the man. See, I'm not a fan of Stephen A. Smith either. But didn't I tell y'all everybody has something to contribute? And right now, as we speak, while y'all not paying attention, all of the Sambos, the liberal black Sambos, are getting into it. They're scratching each other's eyes out. And they all mad at Stephen A. Smith. Because Stephen A. Smith is not cussing out Donald Trump. Stephen A. Smith, he got his sports thing going, but he also got his own little podcast, got some money over there, and he on their ass. Do I think Don Lemon, what's his name, Stephen A. Smith, gives a crap about or considers himself a leader and whatever? Of course not. I don't consider him a leader either. He's just sharing his thoughts about what he sees. The rest of us, out of being so disingenuous, won't tell the truth. But he tells, like he says, on both sides. And one thing about Democrats, they only want black people to only criticize Republican policies, as if all their policies have really just been so great for us. And so when you find somebody, and see, I can talk about it. I don't have the platform of a Stephen A. Smith. The reason they so upset with Stephen A. because, hey man, you black like us. You got a platform bigger than us. Why are you talking about us and sharing the facts about our dirty laundry on that huge platform? Y'all have to pay attention to these Democrats. They only come out to people with huge platforms who got money like them. They don't give a shit about nobody else. They think since he's black and then he became an honorary member of Omega Psi Phi fraternity, they think he's supposed to be with them. And to his discredit, unfortunately, Stephen A. Smith wants approval from these weirdos. He said, I love Joy Reid. Now, man, you supposed to, when they come after you, you come after them. You go after them, Stephen A. Stop apologizing. Just speak the facts the way you know them. We'll critique them. But don't you ever listen to what they're talking about. Jasmine Crockett get her ass on there talking about where he attacks black women. That's not true, Jasmine. Joy Reid. But Joy Reid says, well, they pay him that $100 million. See, they hating on the man because he got that $100 million contract. We know why he got it. So he can continue to break apart black athletes. But Joy gonna say, well, he got that me so he can say the worst things about black people. Just shut up, Joy. While you was on there, you was around there caping for LGBT, you were disrespecting black men as well. You're doing the same thing. And so, just cut the nonsense out. So don't try to, all they do is project. The stuff that they accuse him of doing, they've been doing all the time. Now they ask to come to YouTube and they can't hardly get a following because they're not connecting to the people. Hey, Shelly Cash. So they're not connecting to the people. That's why nobody's hardly listening to that sorry-ass Native Son podcast. He got the gate. Andrew Gillum, who was caught with numbing cream for his booty hole, with the white man. I think it was two white men. He in that drunken high, butt naked, throwing up on the floor. Yeah, y'all remember Andrew Gillum ran for governor of Florida? When he lost, went to the hotel room with the young white nurse. I think he was either nurse practitioner or registered nurse, white man, kind of cut up white dude. Then the police came in there, he laid all up. They hadn't found numbing cream. They found, I think, crack or meth. He was in there having a party, man, and all of that. They got him on there. Tiffany Cross on behind. Ray, damn, I'm about to say her name, the light-skinned chick who Carmen used to date, who broke up with her. Angela Rye. And then they had and then other let me see, there was three on there, but they were talking about Stephen A. Smith that brought in Bakari Sellers. Something about these Democratic black dudes. I'm telling you, man, there's something very sus about these cats. Very sus. But yeah, they on there talking about Stephen A. They still miles ahead of them. Nobody's listening to their little boring ass podcast. Joy Reid can't get one yet. She's appearing on podcasts. Nobody cares. And so they're scrambling. Don Lemon put a little podcast, his YouTube channel in his living room at home. He's trying to keep more viewers, trying to be relevant. No, Don. You have your few people that think you're okay, but Don, you're out of there, bro. The only time y'all shining when y'all was on these white people's plantation, white people's platform. But you're out of touch when you get off your work. It's like somebody who go to work all day long, then they get off work, they're out of touch. This them. Nobody cares. They can't draw in the crowd because they don't have their machine behind them. Nobody cares. See, organic YouTubers are mopping the floors with them because, Organic YouTubers were the ones that white corporate America hired to be in there to deliver their scripts. See, those folks had scripts. Folks like a Corey Holcomb, folks like a TD Media Group, folks like O'Shea Du Jackson, all and the Professor Truth, and the Black Authority, and folks like that. They built that stuff from organically and from the ground up and got real followers. These folks that had these manufactured ratings on the CNN, MSNBC, they can't get no followers. They got a few folks, but no. Their views aren't the same or even come close to with the organic brothers and sisters on YouTube, and they can't stand it. So but anyway, Don Lemon, he sucks. Nicki Minaj, y'all know what time it is with Nicki Minaj, and y'all read the stuff, you know. And I'm just saying, people saying that she trying to go on the right side, so she trying to hopefully Trump or get her boy off the sex offenders list or get her husband or whatever. And she's looking different too. She doesn't look like that little slutty little tramp. Her hair ain't different colors, and like I think y'all while y'all playing, and she continue to be fooling with the folks on the right. Nicki Minaj gonna get rid of that BBL. Say what y'all want to say about conservative women. They might start looking like Stepford wives when they start fooling around with Fox News and all that. But you don't see them with no BBL. Even the black women now, a lot of them know. What's her name? Carrie Champion. She has on a lace front wig and all that. But nobody cares about her anyway. She's a man hater. Um, but yeah, conservative women versus these so-called liberal women, a little different. A little different. And Nicki Minaj finna get on over there. She's already talked about her coochie and her BBL, and she yelled N-word enough in her music, so she finna move on over. She's transitioning. She's pivoting into something else, and she might be all right. All she gotta do is continue to put those tweets out, saying something that's throwing water on the flames of a liberal. She gonna be all right, cause she's done enough damage to black girls with her music. She's done enough to the image of the black community with her music and her videos. So hey, she went on to the right, cause everything she was doing was being supported by the left. And these liberals, they love this ignorant rap music. They love this. They love these whole images. They love these weird shows on TV that got black folks all twisted in sexual knots. They love to say anything. Once you say something opposite to that, all of a sudden you start hearing these so-called liberal podcasters coming out talking crazy to you. So I hope I answered that Don Lemon thing. Don Lemon is a fraud. He's a fraud on CNN, and he's a little nothing fraud. Just he's chasing clout. Go home, Don, and just talk about growing flowers or something in your front yard with you and your boy. Anybody else? Is there a topic that anyone else would like to hear my opinion on? I'm open to it. We got schools are closed tomorrow. My clients. Let me see. So one more before I turn in. Rare opportunity to catch you live, but I like your wide range views on things. What do you think about what happened to Ilhan Omar in the end? Wow. What she's I don't know. I think she's gonna finish her term, and because she's done a whole lot. Did you ever see? Let me say, Robot. You see the video when she was talking with her and her Somalian friends. They would say, Somalia only, and only Somalia. They were just saying, and we only use black Americans for this, and only Somalia. Did you see those? Okay, so you know what I'm talking about. I think they're just trying. She's gonna get dirtied up, and I think she's gonna finish this term, and probably in 26 or 27 she come up. Maybe a conservative or somebody to try to get in that race to try to unseat her. I don't think they're gonna go through with trying to. Even though I've read where they're trying to put some kind of legislation to get her out of that seat. I think she's gonna be able to finish it. Now she may be smart enough to say, "Hey, I won't run for re-election," or a conservative may try to jump in the race with all this that's going on to run to replace her for that seat. I don't see a Democrat trying to get in that seat because they're all about the same nonsense. So really, she's just gonna get just embarrassed back and forth, but she'll still be able to keep the money, still be able to keep her white husband. And even if that's a real thing, because strategy is a thing. Like Kamala Harris married that white man is a strategy. These chicks don't want no husband, so when she married that white man who already had 3 grown children, but then her same name is Harris. And thank you. Let me mention this. You ever pay attention? These Democratic women, when they get married, they keep their names, uh, except for Hillary Clinton. She was Hillary Clinton, then she went to Hillary Rodham. I guess that's her way of trying to separate herself from Bill. But for the most part, these women, they get into politics, they don't take on their husbands' names. And if I were to be married, and if I got married and my wife to be says, I want to keep my maiden name, uh let's say my last name is Davis, but her maiden name is Williams. I still want to be named Daphne Williams Davis. And I said, you know what, you I will tell her, no, you just stay Williams. Cause when I'm not, you ain't finna not heifer. Cause when you get married, I become your husband. Therefore, I have to hunt, gather, protect, and provide. I'm not hunting, gather, protect, provide for no Williams. I'm doing it for Mrs. Davis. And a lot of you guys sit here and let y'all wives call themselves with these names. What they say, that hyphenated names. That's not gonna happen. But one thing about it, Kamala Harris, she did a whole fucking name. Her name is Emmelhoff. She ain't call herself Emmelhoff. She called herself Harris. That's to that's try to appeal to a certain group. Number two, Ketanji Brown Jackson got a whole white husband at home. His name is something else. I don't know if his name is Jackson. Is his name Jackson? Ketanji Brown. I think his last name is Jackson. We had to look up. Is his last name Jackson? But the fact that she put Brown in her married name, no, you Ketanji Jackson. If her husband's last name is Jackson, I don't think that white man's last name is Jackson. Because the only Jackson we had was Andrew Jackson. And then there's a last Jackson we had to do that was on that little series. Jackson, what's his name? Damn. The little I can't think of anything, but Joshua Jackson. But yeah, y'all ever noticed these liberal women? So, but anyway, all that's weird. Because I think if I was in those audiences asking questions, so how come you're not married named after your husband? And what kind of control of the household does the husband have? Obviously none. I wouldn't marry no woman with no hyphenated name or a whole new name. No. Because all they talk about, when a man takes a wife, he finds a good one. Well, right, if I am the head of the household, which I will be, it ain't gonna be my partner. And then you guys out here that's dating, if your girlfriend refers to you as her partner, you break up this bitch. No, because see, that's a lot of that feminist language. We need to bring back masculinity, maintain masculinity and bring back manhood and maintain manhood. No, if I'm taking you in, I know they said, well, back in the day it was like that because women weren't allowed to work and all this. They did work. Yeah, they worked more than black men did. They worked as maids and stuff. All that. Black men couldn't work nowhere unless they came up something out of their heads to create something, except for sharecropping and all of that. So don't give me that lying about, well, women weren't allowed to work. You're a lie. They put them to where they put the men. And men, they want the men to have nothing. Because just like today, y'all don't understand, if men are not functioning, the community is not functioning. And that's so interesting that intelligent women that say we're the most educated, that y'all don't understand this dynamic. When you destroy the men, you destroy the community. And so you want to hyphenate your name? Oh no, you ain't gonna disrespect me like that. Because on the marriage certificate, it has Daphne and Rico and Daphne Davis. Not Rico and Daphne Brown Davis. We ain't doing that shit. And you sure ain't gonna have no whole name, Kamala Harris. Whole different name for mine. We're not doing that. So I don't know. A lot of y'all guys kind of soft like that. Y'all let the women run the marriage and the goddamn house, run the wedding and the goddamn household. But I digress. Conservative men are a little different than liberal men. I'm not a conservative. I'm an independent. In case y'all were wondering, I'm an independent. So anything else? Because I just saw my low battery. But I want to say real quick before this battery go out, I appreciate y'all. This has been very enlightening. I appreciate your participation. And I'll be here tomorrow night if y'all ain't doing anything. Or maybe tomorrow in the daytime. Because again, um, a lot of folks won't be at work tomorrow and probably on Tuesday either. Because this snow and ice, they're not being. Um, Please like, share, and subscribe. The Cash App is there, I swear, and the PayPal is there. Uh, you know, and I appreciate y'all because I'm going to get to those thousand subscribers, and I'm going to get to those 3,000, 4,000 watch hours, and we're going to do this thing. I wonder, can I get my stuff off of Temu and it'll still be the same? No, the stuff you use to make make it into a podcast. Temu has some, but when anybody advise that I get my stuff off of Temu, I've gotten a shirt or two from Temu and it's not so bad. I have to take it in. 'Cause I know I ordered a medium, but they sent me a large. Damn. But that's why they have a seamstress to go and fix it to your body. And as a medium-sized man, oh yeah. And by the way, speaking and was working on getting this down, I just ordered this. Anybody had any of this stuff here? Anybody had this Rise coffee? I don't drink coffee, but they said it'll flatten your tummy in 8 days, something like that. So I'm gonna try it. Anybody had this? And if you have, what do you think about it? Have you done it yet? And because I'm used to, my goal is to, by the time summertime hits, June 1st or July, what have you, I wanna be able to go running with my shirt off. Want to be able to be, as I like to refer to as being wife beater ready for the spring and summer. So I don't mind the weather being what it is. This allows me to stay inside and do more push-ups and maybe 4 crunches a week. I can't stand sit-ups and crunches, dog. Uh, and also stay off the sweets. But I'm working on. I'm a work in progress. That will vibe again in the future. Y'all be cool. It's your man Rico. The opinion. This is my page. Please like, subscribe, and share. I'll talk to y'all in the future. Peace. Okay, there it is.